Glorious morning, everyone. It's Saturday. It's Austin here, of course. For those of you that know me, it's a beautiful day. It almost feels like an autumn day here in my area, Philadelphia area, and just enjoying this beautiful day. And I wanted to just take a minute while what's that saying? Drop it while it's hot. Freedom. And I was thinking about freedom, and I was thinking about, just like anything else in life, that freedom is not necessarily a destination. It's an ongoing, open process of push and pull, of pressure and release. And it's something that you may or may not be aware of your own personal freedom. You may just be lulled into thinking that you have it, but you're nagged by a feeling of discontent deep down inside, not really wondering where that's coming from. And it might just be coming from that longing for freedom, that longing for true expression of who you really are, but you're not able to truly express it because you feel like you're handcuffed, or you feel like the life situation you've been dealt with has become insurmountable. Or worse, you've plateaued. How is plateau worse? Well, plateau is worse because it's kind of lukewarm, whereas if you are feeling handcuffed, you might be in a tremendous amount of pain, which will get you ultimately to move forward and make the necessary changes that you need to make. Morning. And I wanted to talk about freedom and the consistent need and drive to pursue it, to be aware of it, to be aware of our own personal freedom. It doesn't mean that we're free from discipline or free just to do whatever the heck we want, but there's a certain freedom that we know when we feel it, we know when we have it, and it's not free of discipline. And as a matter of fact, I could do a whole nother series on the freedom of discipline, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to talk about the freedom that we long for. Good morning. The freedom that is inside of all of us. And I just want to say that, I wasn't, as far as I know, I wasn't around for the early decision making of this universe, but I do know that freedom is in our soul. It's what we long to pursue. It's what we want to get free from, whatever those situations are. We all have situations. We all have life experiences, and gosh, some of them are so, when I hear some of the things that have happened to people, gosh, it's so difficult. It's so challenging, especially when you're in the moment. U2 wrote a song about being stuck in the moment. You get stuck in the moment, and this is where depression can drive you into a corner. This is where depression can whisper thoughts of suicide. And I just want to encourage you that and say this, I wasn't around in the early decision making of the universe, but freedom is indigenous to our soul. It's something that we long for, and it's something that we must become aware of. Good morning, Michelle. Freedom is something that we want to cultivate inside of us, and it's something that we cannot do alone. If you go through history, typically battles are won in groups, right? Battles are not won in silence, although maybe that's applicable in some situations, but freedom throughout history has been won in groups. And I want to encourage you to join me at Free Will Dream number 14, because it's a group. It's a group where we are pursued to get free, stay present, and move forward. And I'll share with you just a simple, powerful presence moment for me this morning. And I always encourage people to get goosebumps, that you gotten chills today. Not the kind you get cold from, but the kind that you just feel tingle up and down your spine because you feel so good. And I'll give you an example. This morning, I literally was sitting there. I literally looked out the window. The wind was blowing through the trees, and I have goosebumps. Like, it's something that's been cultivated over time, just to feel that sense of freedom, that sense of presence, and that sense of freedom you get through being present, just capturing the small. There's some ancient texts that say the wise person captures the small, while the foolish person continually chases after the big things, only to end up empty. So it's about capturing the small, capturing the gems that everyone else ignores. Everyone else walks by them, they don't see it. Like, look, I got a beautiful view here. And it can almost be like overwhelming when I look at it, and it's beautiful. So I want to encourage you today, not tomorrow, not next week, today, maybe right now, to cultivate your own personal freedom. Make a proclamation, a declaration about what you stand for, what you're going to live for. And remember, we can't do it in silence. We can't do it in solo, at least in my experience. It takes a group. It takes the right people. It takes encouragement. You may get results by yourself. I'm not saying you're not talented. You're unbelievably talented, most of you that I know, or if not all of you. But it's that getting around the right people in a structured way over a continued period of time that will 10 times your results. Don't do it alone. Whatever your challenge, whatever you're faced with, don't do it alone, okay? Seek that freedom. Be aware of where you are. Don't be lulled to sleep thinking that this is all there is. Because that's hypnotism right there. You want to talk about hypnotism? The hypnotic rhythm of this is all there is. That's a BS story. This is not all there is. It's not all there is. Things are growing, things are popping, things are blooming, and so should you. It's your time. The only way you're not moving forward is if you're leaning into the past. And you're leaning into the way things should be. You're leaning into it should have gone a different way. Get away from that. Shake the dust off. Move forward. Look at what's blooming in front of you. I did an interview the other day with my good friend Keith Toborg, and he said, this was a great metaphor, I'm going to share it with you. He said, imagine you're driving toward the most beautiful destination you ever want to go to. It's fantastic. You got chills just thinking about it, and you're driving your car, and and it's straight ahead, and you can see it in the background. You see it. You're getting excited. Or you can look in the rearview mirror. Or you can look in the rearview mirror and go, oh, wait, that's where I want to go, right? So you wouldn't drive to a beautiful place and see it in there, and you wouldn't stare in the rearview mirror. You'd be excited about your destination. So think about that for your life. If you're leaning into your past and you're leaning into, oh, it should have gone this way, it should have gone that way, that's not personal freedom. That's bondage. That's subconsciously locking yourself into a corner. I want you to make a proclamation, a declaration today for your own personal freedom. Not void of discipline. That's not what I'm saying. There's freedom in discipline. I want you to make your own proclamation, your own declaration of your personal freedom. And remember that freedom is something that we consistently strive for. Be the one who's bold enough to grab the small while everyone else chases the big. Because if you can find and appreciate the small, the big will happen automatically. And you'll go, oh my goodness, I'm looking back. And I do this many times in my life. I look back and I go, oh my God, how did I get here? This was only something I wrote down. I only wrote it in my journal. Oh my God, I'm living it. That can be your story. God bless you. I love you guys. Join me at Free Will Dream number 14. This is going to be a life-changing event. We have people coming in from Chicago, Florida. I'm telling you, this is like nothing you've ever attended. I'm not using hyperbole. This will be a fantastic event for you. I'm going to put the URL in there for you. And I just want you, again, to lean into your own personal freedom today. Make a proclamation, a declaration about the life you deserve and the life that you want to live. God bless you. Let me let you say hello to Sally here. Come here, Sally. Come on. Come here, girl. Come on. Say hello. Come on. Come on. Say hello. She's busy smelling everything. Come here. Come on, girl. Say hello. Can you see her? Yeah. Say hello. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.